Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tatiana and today I want to do a review of 4 different iPad Pro cases. Now these are specifically for the 12.9-inch iPads, but I know a lot of these companies also offer the same cases for the 11-inch models. So if you're having trouble figuring out what case to go for, hopefully this review can help. So the first case I'm going to review is this Tomtoc case in the color Cactus. Now it is a majority of this cactus color, but it does have some gray detailing on the sides as well as some bright blue on the back. Now it is raised here, so the camera will be protected if you do place it on a flat surface, which is great, and the hard exterior will be super helpful if you do end up dropping your iPad. It will probably be very protected, and the exterior also covers the button, so you will be pressing the shell instead of the actual buttons themselves. This case is definitely one of the heavier ones, so do expect to add some weight to your iPad, but it is super versatile, and this is what it looks like on the inside. It has some cushioning here for your iPad. It does fit pretty exactly though, so just be mindful of that. And then over here you have your regular padding. Unlike most other cases, it does open up one more time to reveal this bright blue side, but this is only really seen when you place it in portrait mode. So that's actually the fantastic thing about this case, is that you can use it in 3 ways. So the first is you have your landscape mode, which works like this. Now because you do have a flat surface down here, you can use it put it at different angles and it will stay that way. Now if you want your drawing mode, you can also do that by simply folding this part back and putting it into one of the grooves. And now you have a drawing surface. It's also pretty sturdy, so it won't go anywhere. And now the best part about this case that differentiates it from all the other one is that it also has a portrait mode, which honestly I have been using so much, and it's super useful. So this is where it opens in the back and where you see all of this blue, but then you unite it here and it has a little flap that helps it stabilize once it's up vertically. And so this is the vertical mode. It's also very stable and easy to use. And just like the Apple Smart Folio cases, this one also will wake your iPad up when you open it, and then it will put it to sleep when you close it. So here we have the Siwengde iPad Pro case, and this is in the color lavender. So it looks a little like this. All of the sides are protected by an exterior hard shell, as well as the buttons. Now it does seem to be a little raised here to protect the camera, not as much as the other one, but it still seems to be protective enough. Now in this mode, your Apple Pencil is loose, but it is connected and will charge. The great thing about this iPad though is that it gives you another place to store your iPad Pencil for a much more secure placement. So when you open it, it looks like this. It's definitely a bit lighter than the last iPad case that I showed, but that's because it has less features to it. So if we tuck this back, we can see that there's another place here for the iPad Pencil. So if you do not want it to charge and you're traveling and you don't want to lose it, that's a great place to put it. So this case is useful for placing the iPad into different positions. The first would be your drawing mode, so you just flip it back. So when you tuck it back, you get your drawing mode that looks something like this. Again, it's pretty sturdy. From the front, it'll look something like this. To switch it over into landscape mode, you just bring this back, and there we go. From the side, it'll look something like this. And again, it's pretty secure. In order to get the pencil out of this little pouch, there are holes here for which you can stick your finger in to kind of slide the pencil out. You can always just place it up here to charge. And much like the last one, it will also wake your iPad up when you open it, and it will put it to sleep or lock it when you do close it. So this is the ESR Yippee case in the color Forest Green. This is what it looks like on the front, and then on the back, it looks like this. Now this back covering is a hard plastic, and it is also a bit see-through. It is just tinted a bit green, so you can kind of get a better idea of what that looks like this way, but you can still see the space gray of the iPad that I actually have. So this one I would say is not as protective, but it is the most aesthetically pleasing. I think it looks beautiful in here. It has a hard exterior, but it is very thin, so I'm not sure how well it would protect the actual iPad in a drop. The camera is protected because the edges here are a bit raised in order to protect the camera again when you do put it on a flat surface. But because this is so thin, this is definitely a very lightweight case and does not add much weight to the iPad at all. Now, if we actually get into the features of it, one of the things that makes this one different is that although it does not have a specific place for the Apple Pencil, it does protect it when it's closed with this flap. So when you close the flap, it goes over the iPad Pencil and just kind of magnetically connects there in the back. So again, there's less chance of losing it that way. As you can see, the sides are exposed. And on this side, it is also exposed. But again, you can use this case to place the iPad in 2 different positions. So again, we're going to have our landscape mode, which is going to look something like this, just like the others. Again, it's pretty sturdy. And then if we're going to draw, you can place it on the side like that. Again, pretty sturdy. It will wake your iPad if you open it, and it will lock it just the same when you close it, much like the smart portfolio cases that Apple sells. If you're just going for the aesthetic and still have some protection, then this is probably the way to go. Last but not least, we have this Tomtoc portfolio case, again in the color green. Now this one is specifically a hard shell, so it will definitely protect your iPad. It does work if you already have an iPad case on it, but depending on how thick that case is, it might be a bit of a snug fit. But basically this is just going to be green all the way around with some black detailing. It is very hard and protective. The reason I got this was specifically for traveling purposes. I thought it would be nice to have an extra layer of protection. It does have a handle here if you do not wish to put it in another backpack or just for easy access. It offers 2 zippers, and when you open it, it will look something like this. So on the left side, you just have a pouch that's protected by this mesh to put anything you wish. Over here, we have more of a compartmentalized side where you can put, let's say, your Apple Pencil, your chargers, honestly, anything that fits in these little pockets or strips. Then when you flip this over, you have this very nice, I guess it's like velvety, it's very soft. It's to protect your screen, I'm assuming, especially if you don't already have a case on it. And on this side, this is where your iPad is actually going to go, and it's going to be secured by this little strap here. Now, if I were to put it in with a case, I'm going to put it in with the thickest one of them all, which was the first one, the other Tomtoc that I showed you. If we put this in, it definitely has a bit of a tighter squeeze, but it will fit. And then when you close it, it's ready to go. This will add a little bit of weight again, but at the same time, I'd rather keep it all safe than be sorry later. So in the end, I ended up going with the 2 Tomtoc cases that I showed you, just because I felt that they were the most versatile for the things that I would be using them for, as well as the most protective. So I ended up staying with these 2, and they have been wonderful so far. So if you have any more questions, leave them down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!